We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Hear the drummer get wicked. Here we go again.
It's Kenny, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Wait a minute.
What's up?
How?
She sending you blood.
Hey, man. Listen, and talking about these unplanned things, though, bro. It's a game night tonight, so right? They're back at it.
I think it's only one game. It's the Lakers and the Hornets because it's a makeup game from when they had the fires out in LA. So it's supposed to be like Mario Williams' revenge tour on the Lakers, and so
hey, listen, man. Listen. We can lead with that. Let's get that music going because I got a question for you about that.
Okay.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell what the rock. It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We're live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you click on the little bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys doing anything. Hey, it's Kennedy. Here's my question for you, though, bro.
What's up?
In that trade that got rescinded because it still feels like the Hornets was trying to finesse them. That's how but I get your explanation. Here is my question. If you don't connect, you just showed up for the little Rising Stars Challenge, right, out there on behalf of your Lakers, and you come back to the locker room after they had traded you, bro. Is it like, listen, what does that feel like, bro? Is it any awkwardness, or do you just say, "Hey, welcome to the league. This is part of being a professional"?
No, I don't think you're upset. If anything, I think you're relieved, right? Because you got drafted to play with the greatest player in the world. You probably didn't want to go. You understand it's a business, but it got rescinded. So in essence, if you had prayed, like, listen, God, I know you got a path for me or whatever, but blah, 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 blah. And then boom, it gets rescinded and you back. Then no, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I think you look at it like that. I don't necessarily feel like, because you can also look at it in another way, like, hey, they feel like that they could get a bunch of things back by trading me, so I have value. So there's a bunch of different ways you look at it, but no, chip on your shoulder, upset at the Lakers, nah. Not when the goal is like, now I get to play with two I get to play with two generational talents, as in with Luka and LeBron. Nah, let's get back on the court and get back to work.
Let me tell you, if I'm him, I got mixed feelings about it. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because if I'm him and I say, you know what, man, that boy Charlie Venus from the Slash Brothers Podcast has been right about Luka. And maybe I'd be better served in the long run not playing alongside of Luka. If I think that I got superstar potential, maybe me going out to the Hornets wouldn't have been such a bad thing. Because here's the thing about it. I don't think that Dalton Connect is just relegated to being a catch and shoot shooter, like a lot of the guys who play with Luca around, a lot of guys that are like James Harden. I think that he shows some surprising athleticism to me when I've watched him play, with slashing to the basket, dunking, and doing this. He's more than just a 3-point shooter. And what I think is that if he would have gone to the Hornets, I think that they would have traded for him with a more expanded role and more expanded opportunities than what I think he would have gotten for the Lakers. With that being said, if I'm him, that's what makes me feel mixed, because you'd like to think, oh, I got drafted by this team. I very rarely see rookies get traded, right? And so I'm thinking that if you're him, especially a rookie where you think, hey, I've kind of showed them what I can do, where I think I can go, and you let me go anyway. So I got mixed feelings about it, though, man. I think that you still gotta for your teammates. I think that there's no love lost there, but I think that you gotta feel some natural distrust in the front office to know that, yeah, even if I'm playing good, anybody can be traded. And playing good or bad isn't necessarily a criteria for getting traded, though.
Right, but you didn't get traded because of the fact that you were whack. You know what I'm saying? You did show promise, which is why you got a lot of minutes, which is why, yeah, and of course, going to another team, you would have had an opportunity, especially a rebuilding team. You got an opportunity to get a bunch of minutes. I get all of that, and I think he would, be logical in having those thoughts either way. But I don't think, like I said, it was I just JJ to me seemed like a straight shooter, and I feel like he would be able to talk to him and let him know what it is. And I feel like he's a player's player because he honestly was a player. You know what I'm saying? So
And has been traded several times, by the way.
right. So I like I said, like I said, I do think there's going to be some trepidation, but at the same time, I think he's also a professional.
Let me ask you though, man, what you think about the All-Star game in itself?
I personally enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't like, there was a lot of breaks and pauses in between games. And I know that was to kind of give people a chance to rest before, because, the winner takes on the winner of this, and then you would get the advantage because of this, woo-doo. I get all of that, but there was a lot of unnecessary pauses, I think that they had. But overall, I enjoyed the entire weekend. I had a good time with it. I know I'm in the minority on that too, but yeah, definitely had a great time.
I'm going to tell you this though, man. I actually enjoyed it. So the thing that was interesting is that I saw all of the events. I actually, one of the things that was interesting, I only saw half of the Rising Stars. I love that they added the G League element into it as well, though, man. So I think that to me, I still appreciate the competitiveness of that particular game, though, right? I think that, usually you think you got pride and everything like that. I think that for that game, it's always shown to be a more spirited game to me. I think that one of the things that was interesting, oddly enough, for me this year, I didn't particularly enjoy the 3-point contest like I thought I would have. It was cool, but it just, to me, it didn't have like the high moments of exhilaration where you think of like, oh no, both of them or there's multiple people going bang, 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 bang. Like it showed that, like it showed that there are some on any given night you can have somebody who's really good, but then it also showed that somebody who you think is really good, it can just be really mid to me though, man. So it wasn't like at all like seeing Steph in it, or even when Buddy Hield got off to his hot start early, I was like, okay, we here now. And then for me, it just kind of fizzed out though, man. I wasn't that blown. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't blown away by it.
I mean, I think all the events had the highs and lows, right? First of all, the Rising Stars thing that you brought up, the G League has been incorporated in that for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that the winner of that particular tournament got to play in the big stage tournament. I thought that was dope.
That's fine.
But I mean, we had Dame in the 3-point comp. Like we had some named people in the 3-point competition, whereas in the dunk contest, let's be honest, you really only knew Matt McClung. You know what I'm saying? Um, so the thing is that even with that being said, though, as much as people thought that the dunk contest was going to be a bust, it wasn't. It was really the highlight. Again, I personally enjoyed the whole weekend. I thought it was an opportunity for us to learn some new names. I thought it was another opportunity to see the goal this year was to have a competitive game, and you had that, right? You had
Yep.
the old dogs didn't want to lose to them puppies, you know what I'm saying? And so you had the combined European group against Team USA. So there was
Yep.
a lot of pride in every single one of the games. Now, again, there are going to be people that are more competitive than others. Like you couldn't tell me Shea wasn't trying to win, right?
Facts.
But at the same time, there was people out there playing. There was people out there trying to get their stuff off. But ultimately, I don't know. I personally would love for it to just go back to East versus West. And I think that the incentive that you put on it, right? And I know this would never work, but I'm just telling you what my idea is. I don't think it would ever work. Don't even think it would be a conversation. But I think what you do is obviously money is always an incentive. But the other thing is that to put the implication on the game, whoever wins the East and the West game, that particular person gains home court advantage for the finals.
I thought they had already had that. They did that a couple of years ago.
See, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
just
they
thought
did that a
that.
couple of years ago. Here's the thing about it. This is the thing I think that's crazy. I don't. This is me for me personally. I don't think that money is going to be that big of an incentive for the All Stars unless you make a purse large enough. Because a lot of the guys who are All Stars are already making 30 plus million a year, right?
I get
Everybody
that.
who's already there,
I
right? So
get
it's
that.
like you making $1 million ain't gonna be but a drop in the bucket for them. I do think, however, that having $10 million for like a dunk contest winner, to me, that would be a big deal because then you get somebody who's like Mac McClung, who with that $10 million is probably more than he's made his whole NBA career. Him going up and down from the G League, though, bro. I think that $10 million also for like somebody like Stephon Castle, who was the follow up the number two in the dunk contest. That's still something for him being on a rookie contract. It's enough to me that I think that would give you some interest of I would imagine like you think Aaron Gordon, all the real dunk contest dunkers that are still active. It's only Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, the ones that you've seen before that were all-star level players, right? And so I'd imagine that because of their level of play, that they're probably somewhere in the 150 million contracts and up, right? So I think that $10 million is still nothing to snooze at. That would make someone be like, okay, I might be interested in that though, man. But I think that with that being said, I think that the dunk contest, I'm going to be honest with you. I only watched the dunk contest to see what Mac McClung was going to do, right? I've been following Mac McClung, man, since he was like a junior in high school. So I've been a big fan of his. I'm not like a casual. Like I followed him for when like I remember watching his Ballers Life mixtape. I remember watching Patrick Ewing in the stands to recruit him. I remember him going to Georgetown, transferring to to Texas Tech. Like I'm a fan of Mac McClung, so I'm not at all like a casual. So I've been seeing him do a lot of dunks for a long time, and the one thing that I can appreciate about him is that I think that he is more than a dunker. But I think that if he's and I know that he's more than a dunker because I've watched him. But a lot of his highlights are his dunks. But what I can appreciate about him, though, man, is that he's leaning in on it. Like if I enjoy the showmanship behind it, I'm going to practice it. So I appreciate that almost not almost all every single one of his dunk attempts were first time. Like it's like you can tell that he practiced it. He'd been there before, and I certainly to me appreciate the professionalism and showmanship and just leaning in to saying, "Nah, I'm out here trying to win this thing, though, bro." So I think that that's fire to me, though, bro. Like I think that aspect of it is real dope. I think that the other thing too that I was the only thing that I was kind of disappointed in is that I think that the dunk contest is an opportunity for you to make a name for yourself if you don't. Mac McClung, perfect example. You had to be a fan to know, right? But if you're a casual fan, you don't know that the kid from the Bucks. There's this highlight of him where he catches the dunk off the rim, off the miss, and he's so high up that he has to move his face out of the way so he won't hit his face on the rim. And I ain't talking about just forehead head. His entire head was above the rim. But my thing that I was disappointed on is that for this to be the platform for you to make the name of yourself, a bunch of them went out and did dunks and they were doing the game. And I just didn't think that when people said, "Oh, the creativeness it has moved away from the dunk contest," it's just like if you gonna do it though, bro, then go all in. And I like that Mac McClung practices these dunks though, man. So I enjoyed that. I watched specifically to see what he would do differently. And for him to be a 2-foot jumper at barely 6 feet tall, though, man. Now listen, man, it's incredible. I never get tired of watching dunk contests. It don't matter what year. But when you have this as the platform to make a name for yourself, yeah, you got to take advantage of that, though, bro.
Well, whatever happened, man, it did start to garner some interest from some stars because Josh said he might be interested. Giannis said he might be interested, and a couple other names. So, maybe the dunk contest will be a little bit more interesting next year.
I would now listen. I would love, in a perfect world, I would love to see, because Giannis got in the dunk contest very early on. I mean, he was like 19 or 20. I think he got into it his rookie year, right? So I don't know what dunks Giannis will do because he's 6'10", so it's a lot different from somebody who's a smaller guard where you can really see the leaping abilities. But I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing Zach LaVine back up in it. I wouldn't mind seeing Ja Morant in it. I wouldn't mind seeing Aaron Gordon if he still got some dunks out there left over in the tank. And I wouldn't mind seeing Mac McClung come back out there now with them guys, though, man. So those are 4 or 5 guys. I don't think Anthony Edwards is a dunk contest kind of guy. I think he's a game dunker. And to be honest with you, I think that Zion is a game dunker. I think that he does some dunks that you would see in a dunk contest done so regularly by him that you would think, oh, yeah, this is dunk contest worthy, but those are just in-game dunks from him, though. So that's 5 guys that I think.
I don't want to see Matt come back, bro. I think after you win 3 in a row,
that's it. That's it.
Put him as a judge or something.
Now, I do like the idea of, you brought it up before about having a worldwide, having completely open to the best dunkers in the world, right? And I don't know if that moves away from it being an NBA dunk contest, but I do think that there are ways that you can incorporate, you know what I'm saying, like you can incorporate the NBA in a worldwide one. I think that you can. I would love to see like if you do the same way how they got these how they broke it up into teams and all these people had their teams. I think if you had a person, you had the Team LeBron or the LeBron sponsor guy, the whoever, the Chris Paul guy, the Ant Edwards guy, that you have your guy that you say, no, this is somebody who's representing the East or whatever. I think that there are ways that you can do that to still make it about NBA. But if Mac McClung isn't in it, I don't really see anybody in the next couple of years who can do something so dazzling that it's captivating, though, man.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely something that's got to be looked at. But
if Gerald Green is still out here doing dunk contests, worthy dunks, I'll put him in there, bro. Put him in there because I thought that Gerald Green was like a G League coach. But put him in there, though, bro.
Yeah.
I
mean, anything else?
Did you see? Let me ask you this though. One of the things that I thought that was a very interesting thing, and a suggestion. I saw someone talking to Kyrie and James Harden about the possibility of adding 1-on-1, run them ones, right? What you think about that? It looked successful for the women's here though, bro. But what how does that what's that look like to you though, bro?
I'm not for it at all. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
Nah,
you're not.
no, we've talked about this before, and I've heard your thoughts on it. It ain't moving the needle for me, bro. Like I said, for me, I personally want to see the East and West game back, bro. Like I want to see the best of the best go at it. Like I was cool with this format this year, which is kind of just like the team LeBron versus team Giannis. Like it's I get it. It's the schoolyard, the black
Yeah,
tie.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I get all of that, but the one-on-one don't move the needle for me, bro. Like it. I want to. I like the team aspect of it. So that's just where I'm at.
So check this out. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that I would love to see this, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why it's not gonna happen. Shout out to the homie Mark checking in anyway, though, man. But aside from injuries, right? Because you can get injured playing the All Star game. That's the reason why they take your life. But I'm gonna tell you even more than that, right? I think that one of the reasons why you'll see it won't happen, to be quite honest with you, is because I just think that as great as the idea of playing ones is, I don't think that there's as much of an emphasis on the defensive side of playing ones for people to go out there and be comfortable with getting cooked 1-on-1 on that. It's pride to me. It's like, to me, this is the thing about it. As crazy as it is, I think that you would have to have a true two-way player out there. And you would have to have some stipulations because you would have to have, well, what about the guards versus the bigs? Do you limit the number of post-ups or whatever it is? Is it 3 dribbles? Like, I think if you do 3 dribbles, something like that. But here's the thing. As crazy as it is, I think that somebody like uh, Jaylen Brown would do very well. Jalen Green would do very well. And there's people who can play both sides. Paul George, if he's not stealing the rest of that money out there in Philly. Shay's a good 1-on-1 and good defensive player. But I just think that for all of the good players who I think can really light it up 1-on-1, I think that a lot of people would get cooked. And I don't. Can you imagine somebody how that's a you are on the internet for perpetuity, bro. If Kyrie got you falling down all over the place, though, bro. So I don't think that nobody want to sign up for that, though, bro. So for that reason, I don't see it happening because I just don't think that nobody wants to play defense so hard that on that one time you get shook and that's it. They ain't trying to do it. They ain't doing it.
Yeah, they not trying to do it. Yo, so another thing that happened at the All-Star is that the traditional team of the TNT team was honored. Like they're not coming back next year for the All-Star game because the NBA is transitioning to the streaming. Even though they have a deal in place with, I think, ESPN, I don't know that carries over to the All-Star game. So we're probably looking at a new crew next year.
Well, I think that they still will do like post game and pre games and things like that, though, man. But yeah. I think that writing's been on the wall for quite some time. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've always, maybe I'm very much traditional in that regards, but I've always liked the idea that it was on TNT, though, bro. It's cool. And I mean, I don't get me wrong. I think that there's been some celebrity games that have been on ESPN. I'm cool with that. But I mean, something about having Kenny, Ernie, Charles, and Shaq here recently added to the mix as that's a staple of NBA to me, though. NBA culture. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll look completely different.
What's up?
I said that it's gonna look completely different next year.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. It's like they gave it a blueprint, so the only thing you could do is try to take that next step from it, make it a better version of that. But maybe they might take the approach of doing something completely different. All I do know, bro, is if they keep putting Taylor Rooks out here, though, she too much pressure for these boys, though, man. Taylor Rooks is too much pressure, bro. I'm talking about she gonna have these players out here talking crazy, though, bro. I'm talking. Listen, I saw her interview somebody, and they was talking about the one, and they was like, "Oh yeah, me all day. I wouldn't pick nobody on me." And I'm thinking like, Malika Andrews would have somebody talking crazy, but Taylor Rooks be having these boys talking crazy out here, though, boy, crazy.
The boys be ready to risk it all, huh?
Risking it all, though, man. They want to impress us so bad, though, bro. She pressure, bro. Very much so, man.
Yo, did you check out that Captain America?
I did, bro. I listen. I checked it out, and I did the when I say the consensus in my household. I double checked with Landon on this, and we came with the same consensus in that if I was rated on a scale of 1 to 10, I gave it a 7.5. 7.5 being that Black Panther, Winter Soldier, and Infinity Wars are the top 3 10s. And then you kind of have Endgame that I think is also like 8, 9-ish range. So it's just below those, about 7.5 though, man. So yeah. But I loved it. I was entertained by it though, man. I would watch it again.
Yeah. I gave it a 7.5 to an 8, which is weird because me and you are never typically on the same page. It has rewatch value. It did have its problems. And of course, you know me, I'm in the mix of knowing all the behind the scenes stuff. So I know that this had a ton of reshoots and a ton of rewrites. But the thing that I thought was dope was that what I thought they did an incredible job of was making Sam look like a star, but not too big of a star, right? Like I could see him taking on the city or, a bigger threat, but not necessarily a global threat, right? Or a threat like if Thanos came back, right? He ain't fighting Thanos. You know what I'm saying?
So you talking about making him like a Spider-Man, a local guy?
Well, I can still see him being the leader of the Avengers, but I'm just saying, right? Sam doesn't have powers, right? You have to put him in the category of a Batman, like a real world dude who just has a bunch of gadgets. So what I thought they did a real good job of is like, it was it was something that was contained to like to Washington, DC, so to speak. But when you're talking about where Earth is being threatened, you can't send Sam to save the world, right? So the thing is, you would need the Avengers. So he did get the green light to bring the Avengers back, and you would expect a Captain America to be over the Avengers. But from a strategic standpoint of knowing how to get things done, on finding the right people to get it done. So he didn't like he still wasn't Steve Rogers, but you don't need him to be Steve Rogers. You know what I'm saying? Like he still got things done the way that he would get it done versus, Steve Rogers is a super soldier. You know what I'm saying? So he got Bucky for that. You know what I'm saying? And he still got them people that he could call, but not necessarily like, again, just like Batman, right? Batman can take care of certain things, but he's a Gotham City guy. But if you need the world saved, you're going to call Superman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they did a good job of highlighting the fact that he is capable of taking care of things, but it didn't feel like I said, that if the world was in turmoil, that Sam is going to be able to do it. Like they made sure to take care of the respect factor of like, look, this is still a man, you know what I'm saying? And they acknowledged that. So I thought that was dope, but it still felt good enough to where it's like, yeah, this dude is a star. Anthony Mackie isn't a B-level actor anyway. He's in, he can still act with the best of them. I thought he did an incredible job of maintaining who he's been throughout the entire universe of Marvel.
You think he's A-list? You think he's A-list?
I don't think he's not A-list, but what I'm saying is
I think he's like B+.
Yeah, B plus,
B plus, yeah, B plus,
A
B, but
minus.
not A minus though, man. I don't think he's like, because see, when I think of A's, I think of A's are Jamie Foxx, Leonardo DiCaprio, like Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt. Those are A plus, right? Where anybody recognizes him, right? I think that B are you that dude that was in what, and some people know that the face is the name, and I don't think he's there yet though.
I don't. But what I'm saying is, do you think that Scarlett Johansson is recognizable enough to be an A-lister?
Yes.
Okay. She barely got her first movie as Black Widow, right?
No, see, I thought she was A-list before then, though.
I know that, but what I'm saying is she just got her own Marvel. What I'm saying is Chris Evans got 3 Captain America movies.
Right.
All I'm saying is you wouldn't expect Sam to have 3 Captain America.
Well, here's the thing about it. By that measure, I think that Chris Evans is also the same rating as him. I think I would give both of them about B's, B-list. And not to say that they can't act. I'm just saying on recognition.
You're not.
We going different. We talk about different things.
All I'm saying is the fact that Marvel gave him a movie. I thought for they brought. I mean, opening weekend was 88 million, which is what they slated it to be about 95 million when they first was like, when we putting this movie out, we expect to make at least 95 first weekend. So the big test is going to be next weekend on what Captain America makes, because you're fighting against so much. And granted, everything that they're fighting against is meta for what they put in the movies, because they had the Falcon Winter Soldier and they addressed it in there. People aren't going to see me as Captain America. That's something that was a recurring issue that happened in the series and that happened in the movie. So it's something
Well, you brought up a good point about something that I want to get into, is that the fact that he isn't Steve Rogers, right?
Right.
I think that one of the things that was pretty cool is that this is the thing. So because of that, I thought that it was like, I don't know that I like, this is my thing about it. Like, I don't know that I've seen Captain America. Oddly enough, this is the one thing I think is weird, because he has a shield and I've never seen him take a bullet, right? That I remember. And I don't know if he could just take a bullet, right?
No, he can't. He's a super soldier, but he's not. That's not.
Yeah, right. I didn't think so. This one, I didn't think that him taking a bullet would kill him. In theory, I always wondered why nobody shoots at his legs, because he always is hiding behind the shield. Like, that's one thing. But here's the thing that I'm bringing this up, because I remember seeing in Infinity Wars Thanos stab him real good in the leg. He wound up tightening it on up, called for the homies. It was one of the most iconic scenes within the whole thing, though. I love that particular part. And you said it, that he Sam can't fight Thanos, so right? But I think that one of the things that was cool, though, is that I saw that he had the advanced wings, had the Wakandas hook him on up. But I'm just sitting here thinking, like, all right, bro, if you can't take a bullet, if you can't take a bullet, I'm gonna need that suit to be like Black Panther style, because I'm thinking, like, yeah, you can't. It's not gonna make you Black Panther, but bro, you gotta at least have a bulletproof suit or something. Like, if you got this advanced technology on your wings, surely somebody could do something to make sure that your major organs are more protected like that, though. Bro.
No, I get that. That is something that, again, I look at Sam now as the Marvel's Black Batman, right? Because Batman is a regular man, so his suit has
regular person.
But that's the thing. Even with Steve Rogers and them being super soldiers, they still aren't bulletproof. You know what I'm saying? It's just when you're punching them, they can withstand more. Because if you notice, Sam, that boy had broken ribs and everything at the end of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know why I thought they might be bulletproof, but I could be wrong. Not that they were bulletproof, but I thought that it wouldn't. Here's the one thing. Here's the other thing too that I think that was interesting about it. That's more of a reason why I think that it made his fighting that much more of a colder like thought, right? Because you had Steve Rogers. He was a super soldier, so he's bigger, stronger, faster. You know what I'm saying? So when he's putting you in the mix with the combos, you're thinking like, oh, if he's fighting a regular guy, yeah, you know, he's genetically engineered to be bigger, stronger, faster. So I think that the fact that Sam was still throwing them hands and doing his thing the way he would do it, it just makes you think, oh yeah, he really is like that, or had to really be training like that because it isn't his natural, right? It ain't juiced up though, man. So I thought that that was one of the things that was real fire about it though.
Yeah. To give you an example that they are not bulletproof, if you think back to Captain America Winter Soldier, a part of the thing was that Zemo went to the facility where the other super soldiers were and put bullets in their heads so that they couldn't get out and be like Bucky. So Bucky is not bulletproof. He was just using his Wakandan arm to block all the bullets. And then Steve Rogers would use the shield. So they're not bulletproof by any means. They just are more, like you said, genetically inferior to everybody else or whatever. So
yeah, I thought, but listen, I think for what it was, I thought that the whole thing was like to me, this is my thing. I don't really got to know all the backgrounds and all that other stuff. I just want to go watch it, be entertained. I don't really. I know that you're big on furthering the timeline, right? I think that the thing I think that I thought was very cool though was that I like the introduction of the adamantium into the conversation as well, because then I think that's how you start to cross Marvel with it more as well, or the X-Men aspect of it, right? So I think that that's what's it, not DC, right? No, not
no,
DC.
you said it right. X-Men. You said it right.
Okay, the X-Men. Yeah. But I think that you introduce now more meta-humans and more powers now with that aspect of it. And it's a very small nugget, right? To think about. But I think that long term, that's how if you were further in the timelines or trying to marry the two character bases, I think that that's one of the ways to do it though, man. So I thought it was good. Like I said, very thoroughly entertained, but I'm not one that gotta just as long as I watch it, I walk away satisfied and entertained and would watch it again. I'm cool. Like I would go to the movies to see it again, not just wait for it to come back out on TV.
Yeah. Well, you say that they are finally introducing that, but they've done that 3 times already now. You know what I'm saying? We got Deadpool Wolverine. That is the introduction right there. Then you got
well. I mean, what I mean is that Deadpool. Okay, what I mean by that is this: I look at Deadpool, Wolverine, and X-Men separately from the Avengers. Like to me, they're two. To me, this is what I mean. In my mind, right? And this is because I wasn't really big on hardcore the comics and things being by canon. What I'm saying is this: in my mind, X-Men, Deadpool, Colossus, all of them is a whole different universe. It's a whole different story, right? Than Avengers. To me, Avengers seems to me to be like more modern 21st century. It's the now, it's us with these. So I think that by you go ahead and saying, well, let me just go ahead and add this aspect of it, then that's to me how you bridge those two worlds. But X-Men, that world of X-Men and Fantastic Four, all of them, they are a whole different thing to me than Avengers. And maybe that's the reason why I look at Avengers the way I do. Okay. They're not the same.
The other movie is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. You had a version of Reed Richards in there. Okay.
Well, they're all, let's say. So to me, the Avengers universe is everybody who was in Infinity Wars, Endgame. Those are all people. If you wasn't in that, then you a whole separate thing in my head.
I get it, but we're going off of what you're saying. I'm just telling you where they already did that. The other movie, the third movie, is the Marvels. And the Marvels, Beast was in the movie, which is a part of the Marvel. You had Captain Marvel.
The Marvels and Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, what's her name? Rambo, the chick from we just watched Scarlet Witch and Vision. What was the show?
Agatha All Alone.
No, not Agatha All Alone. The one before Agatha. The oh my gosh.
I know who you're talking about.
Okay, with Scarlet Witch, WandaVision. So in
yeah.
WandaVision, the black chick who was so Captain Marvel and her mama were best friends. Her mama died because of cancer, right? And so she was a Marvel, Miss Marvel, and then you got the little Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan. All the three of them, they was the Marvels in the movie. At the end of the movie, Beast was in it from X-Men.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't see the movie then, bro. I didn't see any of the. I didn't see hardly any of the Captain Marvel stuff, though, bro. I was so turned off by Captain Marvel that I was just like, I ain't gotta see it.
Yeah,
I kind of know. I kind of got the general. I've never. That's probably the only Marvel movie that I haven't seen.
Okay, well, in the show, Miss Marvel, right?
I've never seen the show.
I know you didn't. I know you did. I'm just again, you are the perfect person to have a conversation with because you are a casual fan who's not gonna watch all the stuff because there's a TV version of Marvel and then they got the movie stuff and everything is merged, right?
I'm a dedicated casual. I'm gonna see all of them.
You go see the movie.
Like I'll see the movie, and I've seen all of the shows except that one, and I haven't finished watching Agatha All Alone.
Okay, but you ain't seen Miss Marvel though. But in Miss Marvel,
I ain't seen Miss Marvel, or I ain't seen Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, or any of the Marvels. Those, and I haven't finished watching Agatha All Alone.
Miss Marvel is introduced as the first mutant in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They introduced,
and that's a good point because that's what I'm saying. To me, right in my head, when I look at Avengers, and like I said, it's everybody. But listen, right, because Captain Marvel is in Infinity Wars, so anybody who's associated with her is part of the Avengers world, right?
That's right.
But the idea of mutants. That's always been X-Men lingo to me. Like and I separate them.
I know, but what I'm telling you is Marvel has already started introducing mutants into the Marvel.
But this is my problem. This is my problem with that. It doesn't go in my mind because it doesn't. This is the thing about it. The reason why it doesn't go is because so like the reason why it doesn't go is because in all of the X-Men, all of them introduced the idea of mutants so long ago, right? Charles Xavier, Magneto, them got the old time. So they were in the 60s when they were in 70s when they were talking about mutants. That was the first time. So I think of Marvel in terms of the Avengers world as today, as current. So for you to pop up some mutants on me today, like that just don't. My mind has a hard problem with wrapping itself around the idea of walking down the street today and seeing a mutant, right? Like I can see Sam, I can see the Black Captain America because that's today, right? But to see mutants, that's why I said there's always been a whole different story. Unrelated though, bro.
It has been until now. That's why I said in the Marvels, which is only 2 or 3 movies ago, is when Beast,
I don't know if I like that, bro.
You may not like it.
I don't know if I like that.
It doesn't matter that
I like them separate, bro. I like them separate, bro.
But you might as well get over that though, because it's already. That's what I'm saying. It's here. When they did Deadpool and Wolverine, that was it. That was that's the tearing of the two worlds coming together. That's it. You got
how though? Because Deadpool and Wolverine them are from the same universe. Who's from? How did Deadpool and Wolverine
Who
bridge the two?
who did Deadpool go see? He went to go see Happy Hogan. Who is who?
Damn show did.
He asked to be a part of the Avengers. The TVA. The TVA.
I thought he was
hold
just
on,
listen,
hold on. The TVA, which was in Loki, the TVA and Loki. That's all.
yeah.
They had a scene with Deadpool and Thor, and he was like, "Yo, that was Thor. Like, why am I in a scene with Thor?" And they was like, "Hold on, no. That's in the future." That's what I'm saying. That's the.
See, I thought that was just all sarcasm. I thought that was satire. I thought that it was all jokingly.
No, bro.
Man,
These are all the seeds that are being planted because we're about to start seeing X-Men, mutants in the timeline of Marvel, of what you know, the Avengers and X-Men will be together. That's gonna happen. Like the Fantastic Four, all of that is happening.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not. I saw the previews of this Fantastic Four. It doesn't look like I'm gonna like it, bro. I'm gonna watch it, but it doesn't look like I'm gonna like it.
Well, it's also
I don't like remakes. I don't like remakes of ones that were just that current. Like I still remember the original, bro.
right, but again, this is Marvel taking over those things because in the real world, in the forget what we're talking about now, but in the real world, Marvel bought Fox. So now they own all of those properties. So now they're gonna introduce them in the Marvel way. Like that's happening. So that's why when Infinity, when Avengers, the Doomsday is about to come out or whatever, Doom is not like in that Avengers time span. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Doom is in that Fantastic Four arena. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's happening, bro.
I get it, man. I do.
It looks like your boy ain't going to jail. What's going on with that?
Listen, bro. I'm kind of surprised, but kind of not. You know, the boy ASAP Rocky was jumped in exhilaration because he was found now not guilty for the gun. I don't know if that's even a gun charge versus him just actually shooting somebody, though, bro. But apparently, old boy's story just started to look a little shaky after a while. It was already weird that apparently, when he said he got shot by ASAP, that the police said, "Man, we ain't find no shell cases on the scene." And then homeboy said, "I know where I got shot at. I'm gonna go ahead and go do my own investigation." And he finds some bullet shells, and give them to the police and be like, "Here, since you ain't want to do your job, here they go," right? And if that's all the proof you got, even though you kind of got this altercation on camera, apparently though, bro, it started to kind of look like it wasn't panning out for him to get any time. But listen though, man, I mean, listen, they one less rapper in jail. This man, clearly is doing a whole different kind of thing now with his family and everything. So, all in all, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm happy for him though, man. I mean, I'm not like, no. I don't know how you can listen. If you shot at me or shot me, that meant that you were trying to kill me, though, bro. So nah. Now the only way I don't know how you can do that, bro. And even if I was wrong and I told you that I was wrong, I don't know how, even if I was in the wrong, that you shot at me, that I would be like, well, you know what, I was wrong. Like I might get over it because I was wrong, and that's how you responded to it. But nah, we can't be. We ain't back ASAP, Bob. Nah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a lot of his once they were like, when you submitted these text messages or this, stuff from your phone, you omitted these things because they had the full length version of the text messages or the messages from the phone, whatever the case may be. So that really messed his credibility up. And a lot, there was some messages like, yeah, I think I'm gonna get about, 30 million from this, or like you already talking money. You weren't looking for
Yeah.
necessarily justice on being shot. It was more so like it looked like a payout that you were looking for.
Yeah.
So a lot of
Yeah.
that stuff really messed up the credibility.
Listen, man, happy for ASAP, bro. Go on to your kids and your wife, though, man. Did they? And I don't think him and Rihanna married yet, are they?
No,
they ain't
they're
married.
not married. He's got 2 kids or one on the way or whatever the case may be. So
Listen, what's stopping this man from marrying her, bro? Like I thought that by now.
what if she don't want to get married? What if she just likes it like this? Like, dude,
Oh my gosh, Ace Kennedy, listen. Is that listen? This mate, listen. That you just had me thinking about so many things just that fast. Because maybe in my head, I'm still traditional, old school in that sense. What if they didn't want to be married though? What if they just said this is the dream?
Right. This is what it is right here, right? Because you look at Cardi and Offset, right? They ain't together no more. So
I just thought that while a lot of guys might not aspire to be a husband, I just thought that women in general aspired still today to be a wife. And seeing that she is in prime wife and age, because listen, she got the kids. It's like the only if that was a checklist thing, it's the last thing left, right?
But what if it
I
ain't
don't
though?
know,
Like
bro.
I said, if he already got 2 kids by her, right? And they ain't going nowhere.
They ain't going no. He's already with it for a lifetime now. You got
That's
the
what I'm
kids.
saying. I'm just saying. So like, what? I mean, that's just the title for some people, bro. That's not.
Is it? Listen, but it's okay. This is what I'm. This maybe I'm just old fashioned in the sense that don't you did to call a chick and your wife. That's the ultimate compliment. The
That's
ultimate
not.
thing. Is it
That's
still?
not somebody. That's not everybody's goals, though, bro.
Like I thought even if you tried it and you got that one where you said this is the one that I want and it don't work out, you can say I gave it my best and
But,
listen, this was the
but he already got 2 kids with her, though. Like, what more does he need to say? That's
she's the
not
mother of your
everybody's
kids though.
right.
She's
But
the
that's
wife.
okay, and they ain't going nowhere though. What I'm saying is, if they cool, not getting married, that's not everybody's goals though, bro. That's not everybody's thing.
That's to me.
2025. That's not everybody's. That ain't everybody's jam, bro.
Listen, I can't. Listen. It's still hard for me to fathom, right? That in 2025 that it's not a thing. Like I thought to me that's when people say, "Oh, this is black love," that's aspiring to be that. Like that's the crowning achievement to me of black
Okay, but let me
love.
ask you a question. Does everybody know that them two are together?
Yes, everybody do know they're together.
So then what else? What else do they need? What
And-
more what more is the piece of paper? I'm talking about from their standpoint. I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm cool. I love marriage. I'm just saying that's not everybody's goal though. Like if the goal to him was to get her, he got her. Everybody
Yeah,
know that
but
they're together. Everybody was
see-
like when he was on trial, they was like, what is Ree gonna wear to the courthouse? That was always the thought process.
But I guess my thing is this though, bro. It's like you're this is my thing. Now listen, maybe I am still a romantic in the sense of you got her, I'm gonna make her my wife. Like that means that to me is a different level of I got her. Like it's to me anyway. Now don't get me wrong. Even if it doesn't work out, right? Like to me, I guess I have a certain level of appreciation that's the aspiration though, bro. But for somebody to be like, yo, that's never been it. Like I don't know that if I was ever single, maybe it's different now because you know,
You
I
already said
am
if you were
married.
single again, you wouldn't get married anymore.
I wouldn't get married again. But you know what? Even though, listen, even though I would never do it again, I don't know that I would date somebody who said, "Nah, I ain't never aspired to be a wife. I ain't never want to get married." To me, that's like I don't know that I would ever. I don't know that I
That
could
would be
ever
right
be
up
with
your alley
somebody.
though, because then you already said you ain't getting married no more. So what's the difference? So you trying to say
It's,
just in case you change your mind?
it's something about the person. That's like saying that to me. That's like I would. I don't know that I could ever date a girl who said,
Okay,
"Yeah, I
okay,
ain't never want
okay,
kids."
okay. Well then let me flip it on you, right? Let's hypothetical. We just talking hypotheticals. Hypothetically, you single.
Hypothetical.
You get okay, you with a chick who does believe in marriage, but you say you ain't getting married no more. So now what is she supposed to do?
Well, here's my thing. What I'm saying is this. I think that if for some reason, if she's never been, right? If she's never been and she said, but I absolutely do. I absolutely do. Right? I may be inclined to change my mind. If I feel if I rock with her that hard, I could. If I felt like this one is another good one and I'm not going anywhere anyway, then I would say maybe. If I say I ain't going nowhere because this here is not just good enough, but this is out here. I'm out of here with this one. If she says that I ain't never been married before and I've always wanted to, and not just that, even if I never wanted to be married before, I do with you. That means something to me, though, man. It's the ultimate. It's like it's
I
to
mean, I'm
me,
just going
it's
off of
up
what
there
you
with the
said.
ultimate.
You the
That's
one that said
true.
if you got
I would be dodging it. I'd be dodging it. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I think that, like this though, man. Let's just say hypothetically that happened. We talking hypothetical. And Rihanna, she got her 2 kids with homeboy, and he doesn't propose to her. And here it is, Landon, he about to be 18 by then. He about to be 20 years old, whatever. And I'm 46, 47 years old. And she says, I didn't even want to be married. I wanted to have kids with him. That makes sense to me, right? You already got your kids with somebody who you wanted to have kids with. And I didn't, marriage wasn't a priority, nor was it even something I aspired for in the past. But you make me want to be that. Doug, I think that in that scenario, it would have to be something like that. That's my exception. But generally speaking, I'm bobbing and weaving it though.
yeah,
Yeah, bobbing and weaving it, bro.
yeah.
One and done for the boy though.
Last topic before we get out of here. Rick Ross versus 50 and 50 versus Big Meech and Lil Meech. What you think about it, bro?
Okay, this is one of the things I think that's crazy. This is, but I don't want to get into counting people's pockets because as a grown man, what somebody else makes don't make me nothing, right? But let's just do that for a second, right? So if you are 50 Cent, you got to feel some kind of level of distrust, right? You got to feel some kind of level of disappointment and disloyalty, right? Because let's say hypothetically, you've been locked up for 20 years. And then I put some money in your family's pocket because I reached out to you and said, hey, I want to do this series. So I'm going to pay you and I'm going to put some money in your pockets while you locked on up, right? And so I think that if you go ahead and do that by that measure, you have basically taken care of this man's family while he was out. And I don't know if maybe Meech has already, if his family's been good, whatever, right? But I'm saying though, you got to feel some kind of way that now you out, right? And maybe you don't know any better, but you out here like posting up with like my sworn enemy. Now maybe to Meech, now they just figure that it ain't that big of a deal. Maybe it ain't, Hell, he been locked up for 20 years. Rick Ross got a song where he says, I think I'm Big Meats. He got a song called BMF. He could. Do you stop being a fan just because? Do you inherit that with somebody who you might like? So I can understand why from Meats that it ain't that big of a deal to me, right? Because that's y'all's issue, and I genuinely might be a fan of this man though, right? But at the same time, I can also see why 50 would feel like there is some betrayal there because now I'm making bread with you and you out here posting up with my sworn enemy though, bro. And so I think that this is a scenario we talk about where both things can be true. Now I do think that Ross, on the other hand, knows what he was doing by stirring that though, bro. So and it could be that Ross just wanted to meet him, right? Because he didn't do the song about him though, right? Uh I don't know, bro. It's tough. It's tough.
It is tough because you just messed up your now. I mean, because then the show that they were supposed to have got canceled. They didn't sell that many tickets, and a lot of artists was pulling out of the show. And 50 is over here like, I ain't had nothing to do with it. But
see, I think that this is my thing. I don't know what. So this is the way I look at it. I think that in the end, right, you can look at it where you can say all money ain't good money because if you meet and you'd have been locked up for whatever amount of time, and you say, all right, you know what? I don't know if you just took a picture with Ross. I don't know what you was doing with Ross. But if you were doing business with Ross and if it was good money with Ross, you've been locked up for 20. You got to make up for some lost time, though. So I can't be mad at him for doing. You would think that somebody like that, if you're doing business with 50, that you can't do business with Rick Ross, somebody who you're a fan of. At least you can't just make it so flashy about that, though, man. I don't know what he's supposed to do, but if I'm locked up for 20 years and you can't tell me I can't do that, though, right? I got to make up. There was some money that I couldn't make that I got to make up for, though, bro. So
which
I don't know,
think
man.
50 is like, that's fine, but then you letting go of this bag if that's what you want to do.
That's true, man. I don't know what Meats and Ross was doing. I thought they just took a picture. I know that Ross was trying to have him come out to his car show. And if that's what it is, even then, if you 50, you like, nah, bro, you can't be out here kikiing with him with my enemies and then doing business with me at the same time, though, man. They just don't rock. But if I'm Meats, I can totally understand why you would be like, listen, I'm not that kind of dude.
I get it, but at the same time, you know what you signed up for when you signed up with Curtis Jackson, though.
Is that what you? So for you, what approach do you say? You ain't rocking with 50 if you ain't rocking with Ross, if you meet.
I just think that you know what I'm saying is once you decide to do business with 50, you know how he is. It doesn't matter if you're that type of person or not. If you're deciding to do business with 50, you know how he operates. It's not like the type of person that he is, right?
Yeah.
So that just comes with the territory. It's almost like, right, if you decided to do business with Apple, right, then you can't be seen with a Samsung phone. Like it's the same way like how they tell James Harden, bro, you can't be out here rocking these Jordans.
Be out here wearing the Jordans out.
It doesn't matter that you like that. Like it's the same with me, right? I work for the government. There's things that come with that. So that all that being said, when you do business with somebody, you know what comes with the territory of doing business. So I can't necessarily be mad at 50 on that. When when you do business with certain people, there are certain expectations that come with that.
I get it. What you got going on for the week, man?
Week has not changed, bro. Still trying to get Sarah healthy. So that's it for me. What about you?
Man, I think that what I'm trying to do, Brand, is I've been in the lab, but I've been in spots. So I'm hoping that this week that I can actually finish things that I actually have started. It's been great that I've been able to get a bunch of things going and turn the key on a lot of these things, man. But I think I'm hoping to go ahead and wrap a few of these things on up this week, though, man. So I'm back in the lab. I'm glad to still have that as an option, but I'm hoping to go ahead and do that this week, though.
That's what's up, bro. Well, look, from ATL to OKC, obviously, we the Slash Brothers, and we'll see y'all next time, bro.
It doesn't matter what your name
The
is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you
of
dig
all
it,
time.
sucker?
Yep.